Hey, Mike. Mike. Wakey, wakey. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. Hey, it's showtime. Come on, come on, come on. It's showtime. It's showtime.
Hey, Hessa, how you doing?
Uh,
Ooh,
are you good?
yeah, I'm good. I just had to look for something. I'm
I
here.
I
Uh,
I think you were asleep. Maybe. Are you sure you were?
hmm?
Uh,
I
should we
was
just start?
meditating. I was meditating in the force, and sometimes it forces me to sleep. So,
Maybe we should just start the
I
show.
let's go ahead, please.
It's the Something About Something show with your host, Mr. Mike Silling. And Mike, your mic is muted, so we can't hear you.
I was still asleep. I was still.
Live from your southern outpost.
That's right. Yes, live from the Southern Outpost, in remote areas that we cannot. It's all classified. We don't want to say anything about it, but
Live from the vineyard.
Live from the. I don't know if it's that or not.
Doesn't
Hey,
really
Daryl
count,
McCarty. He is.
Are we doing our own? Is
Because
the podcast
yes,
wife with us today?
not tonight.
Not tonight. Okay.
There, that's Mr. Daryl. What's up, sir? Nerd friends.
Todd VC.
And
We interrupted Michael's nappy time. Yes, we did.
yeah, thank
Yes,
you.
we did, Todd. Hey, if you're out there watching, definitely let us know where you're watching from. We love our audience. We'd love to hear from you. And maybe your comment can be put on screen as well.
That's right. That's right. Oh man, you know what this week is?
This week is, it's yesterday was May the Force be with you. May the
That's the
Fourth be
dude,
with you.
like I tell my
Star
wife.
Wars Day.
No, it's a week.
It's a week.
It's a whole week. It's a whole week. It's not
You-
just one day.
You know, what I'm actually hearing is now it's not a week, it's a whole month. And this is the May.
This is the May.
This is the May.
Hey, and don't forget today now.
Today is Revenge of the 5th. Hey, Shad, watching from his back porch. This is Daryl McCarty. This is the May.
This is the May.
Exactly. Jason says you're on Hoth.
Yeah, basically I am. I got like what is it? Not Tatooine, the Tongtongs, the Tonkas, or whatever they are. The things, when I get cold, I cut them open, get inside.
Yes.
Yeah, they stink.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, they're only
So-
lukewarm though.
That's right. Dun-dun-dun.
Dun-dun-dun.
Yeah, I don't have the thing here.
Jason is
Hamilton-
watching from behind Ricky.
That was kind of creepy.
That's scary. Okay, well, that was it.
That's fine. Hey,
I'm just checking, make sure
let's make sure.
Jason's back there. He's okay though. He's all right.
So, there's a lot of news besides Star Wars news going on too this week.
There's
It's really
a lot of
interesting
Star
to
Wars.
me.
A lot of Star Wars this week. Just
But
because
there's one.
there's
But there
new
was
stuff.
there's one in particular I'll talk about that actually, in a way, involves Star Wars, but also Marvel. And so I guess
Yeah. So
I
this is
think
kind
that's
of interesting.
Yeah.
So we have some kind of odd Loki news, and I don't have an image for Loki.
it's okay.
The Loki TV show scheduled to come out June 11th.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just a little over a month away. Has been moved up 2 days. They have moved it up to June 9th. And now they are saying, rather than releasing on the 11th, which would have been a Friday,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to release every episode on Wednesdays starting on June 9th. And it really looks like they are doing it so that Loki and the Bad Batch don't compete.
That's interesting. At first I was thinking if they held one above the other as being popular, but what I can understand, probably what's happening is that they just don't want, they don't want them on top of each other because they
Yeah.
don't want to have people. But it's funny. I say all of that, but we're living. It's almost like we're talking as if we're on basic local TV.
I know.
The old 3 channels. So I mean, this
This
is
is not
streaming.
network TV.
I mean, you can go out on. I mean, you can stream whatever you want on Friday, but Disney is a genius. They have gotten in our heads that even though it's a streaming service, it's like we can't miss Friday night or we can't miss Wednesday night.
I know.
Yes, you can. You can watch it anytime you want. But
Here's-
it's genius. It's genius.
Here's what it
I
is.
think.
It is. I think they have decided that if they produce it this way, well, first of all, it worked. It worked for Mandalorian.
Yeah. Yes, it
Going,
did.
every Friday release date,
Yeah.
drag it out. It does a couple of things. It stops those people from getting the free trial,
Yeah. Exactly.
binge watching the one thing they want to watch and canceling. Okay.
Yeah.
So you get rid of those people. And then it gets that idea of that there's some anticipation.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, I got to check and see, is there a new episode? Is the new episode out yet? Is the new episode out yet? So I think there's some things there that are legit. I think it's kind of interesting that that Disney has decided to do it this way. But
Todd V agrees with that. It's a good idea, but I think also it gives value to us subscribers to Disney Plus. It's almost like there's something special about it. Like,
yes,
it's like my son, I know he'll come back next week, and it's like, I say, hey man, last Friday was good. And usually he likes to wait till the coming Friday, so he'll watch it back to back with us. And
yeah,
with Netflix, it's like, who cares whenever I feel like to. There's nothing special there that makes me like, like on NBC, hey, Thursday nights on NBC,
yeah. It must see.
You had to be there.
Back in the days. Yeah,
But in Disney has brought that back on a streaming service, which is, it's wild to me,
Yeah, I'm surprised it worked. The binge mentality is the way most people think. And Disney is breaking all the rules and going against the grain and saying, no, don't binge it. Build the anticipation. Get excited about this Friday. So come June, we get excited about Wednesday and Friday.
Well, and the other thing they're doing too, they're really being, of course, HBO Max, they're really trying to dominate, same day, theater and streaming service. But Disney, they're going to do the same thing with the Black Widow.
Yes.
And
which they said they weren't going to.
Yeah, exactly. But they're saying they are now. But you pay a premium price, and I don't know if it's like $30 or $35.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
like
around
that,
$30,
which for me is worth it. I mean, you think about it. I mean, you have a bunch of
yeah.
family, and I don't have to go anywhere. So, So anyhow,
yeah. Jason Hamilton says he loves and hates that. the idea of the weekly release. I get it. What's Dan say? Dan says
Dan.
Studies have shown that people remember more the events of shows that are strung out like that instead of watching it all at once. But some stories are better told all at once.
That's
Interesting
true.
take.
That is true. What it's interesting. I like to ask the audience out there, just off of Dan's comment, which I thought was a great comment. Which streaming services or shows that you think are better, that would be better as, like Cobra Kai? You can watch the whole thing in one afternoon. Which shows out there that you think would be better as a weekly versus, back to back binging? So think about it. Let us know. Yeah.
What do you think, Mike?
For me, I really hated the idea when Mandalorian came out. I kind of hated the idea, but then it was like I was able to savor it. It was like savoring it, and I could watch it 3 times. I could watch it over and over again because each time I would see something different. But I think it has a lot to do with the show.
Yeah.
There's some shows like a bunch of them on Netflix. And I can't really think of a big show on Netflix that really makes me want to binge it now. Well, like okay, like Hulu, The Family Guy, binge it,
Oh yeah, I was about to say. I
mean,
think I think it has to do, for me. It has to do with something that's brand new versus something that is old and tried and true. If it's something new, I
Yeah.
kind of like having that stretched out time.
Yeah, I do too.
I get to see it. I get to think about, okay, what does all this mean before I watch the next episode?
Yeah, Jason Hamilton was saying Cobra Kai is better binge, and then The Boys is episodic, which, yeah, it's something about that.
Yeah.
And why? Because, I mean, Cobra Kai, it has, an episode, but it's not episodic where,
Yeah.
Jason's,
It's an overall story arc.
yeah.
That you need to get the whole thing. Yeah, Shad says all are better back to back. Now, see, for me, like I said, the new stuff, I really kind of like this week to week new episode
Yeah.
drop. But for old stuff, if you're putting something old onto Netflix, don't drop it week to week. Just give me the whole thing.
Well, this is a good point from Shad Stewart. Allows me to get really into it and not have to pick it up and remember what happened and better overall story, which I can understand that. I mean,
I could see that.
I mean, it's a preference, and for me, it just depends on the show. There's some shows, if I had to keep up week to week, I wouldn't. I mean, that's one reason I don't watch, basic cable. I don't watch,
Yeah.
I just don't. I stream everything anymore. And so this is kind of like the first time. I think The Mandalorian kind of set the stage for this, don't you think?
Yeah.
Is there
I
another
think
one that you
so.
can think of?
Or
they tried, but it didn't catch on.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Stranger Things all came out at one time, right?
Yeah, they did.
On Netflix.
They
It
did.
was all a dump.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all
I mean, it was
a
great.
full season dump.
That's one I would agree with Shad. I would rather see that in one big. I want to be able to see it as I want to binge through that.
It's one big movie.
Yeah. Here's a good comment from Shad Stewart. Game of Thrones is one. Yeah.
It was week to week, right?
It was a week
wasn't
to
all-
week deal. Yeah.
yeah.
So,
But,
Yeah, it wasn't
but those
all at
are
once.
those are long episodes.
yeah. Well, that
So
was a good. I mean, that's the thing because Game of Thrones. I think what Shad's point is the Game of Thrones came out before Mandalorian, so
Yeah.
HBO now wherever they
HBO
were,
was already on the
they were on that weekly for a while.
Yeah.
So
well, and they talked about releasing the DC the Justice League update, the Snyder cut. They
Yeah.
discussed releasing that week to week for 4 weeks.
yeah,
And then decided against it and made it one solid movie. Todd Beasley says, I prefer episodic for deeper or multi-plot so I can digest it before the next episode. I think that's where I am, but I dissect everything.
yeah,
you
I
know,
do too.
I think that's probably my problem. If I like binging things that are mindless. Okay,
That's how I feel.
So
too on that.
speaking of mindless,
yeah.
there is another Marvel show that's going to be coming out
Oh, I
that
see.
is
Yes.
absolutely mindless.
I wish you had
MODOK.
MODOK.
If you have not seen the trailer for MODOK, oh my gosh, you need
Oh.
to see the trailer for MODOK. This is, I'm not sure if this is going to be a safe for work show or not. Disney, it is Marvel. It is
Yeah.
Marvel. It is going to be animated. It is not going to be on Disney Plus. It is
That tells
going
you
to,
something.
That
It
tells you something right there.
because because you can watch Deadpool on Hulu,
Yes.
not on Disney Plus. So
Exactly. So
Yeah.
MODOK is going to come out on Hulu. And if you're not familiar with MODOK, he's a killing machine.
yeah.
But in this show, he's going to have a family.
Family sitcom. He has his issues. Yeah.
he has his issues.
Well,
So if you haven't seen the trailer, you definitely need to go see the trailer.
Yeah.
It
Well,
looks hysterical.
and
Patton
the
Oswalt is going to voice.
Yes. Yeah, that's awesome.
I think it'll be a great cast, and we're going to get to see some random Marvel characters we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
In the trailer, there are two characters. One of them's actually a person. We're going to see Wonder Man, who is kind of an odd duck anyway, because in the comics, the original Vision's brain is patterned off of Wonder Man's brain. And Wonder Man was a bad guy, then he was a good guy, and then he moves to California and becomes an actor and joins the West Coast Avengers because he happens to be out there. He's got weird stuff going on. Anyway, but he's going to show up in there, and at one point, MODOK is actually writing Fing Fang Foom.
Fing Fang Foom, yes.
Which has come up in conversation on this show before.
Yeah, exactly.
It's basically a giant dragon in the Marvel universe.
Exactly.
So he is definitely writing Fing Fang Foom at one point in the trailer. I don't know what that even means. We're going to see Iron Man. Iron Man's going to return.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
It's going to be a different Iron Man. Obviously, It's a different universe.
Yeah, no.
This is not the MCU.
Yes.
But
yes, Robert Downey Jr. didn't come back for this one, no.
Todd is very accurate. Robot Chicken meets Leave It to Beaver. Absolutely.
That's what we
a
talked
great
about.
way to
That's
put
exactly what we were talking about before the show. Awesome. Hey, let's we got so much to cover tonight. Why don't we do some stupid news and then we can go from there.
Let's do it. This is the Stupid News with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
Okay, this next story it hits home in good old Oklahoma, and I bet if anything, Ricky, you probably read about this. It's about
It's not about the Dorito truck.
No, it's about an overdue VHS tape.
Oh, I did. That was Oklahoma?
That was Oklahoma.
Oh, I didn't realize it was Oklahoma.
Yes.
I just read about it.
No.
An overdue videotape.
Yes.
Tell me more about this, because obviously I did not read the whole story. I just vaguely remember that it's a ridiculous story.
I couldn't believe it. A former Oklahoma resident is facing felony embezzlement charges for not returning a VHS rented in Norman more than 2 decades ago.
You know why it's a felony? It's got to be a felony because back in the day, is it Family Video or was it Blockbuster?
It does not say. I think
it doesn't say.
Either
way, the replacement charge for a VHS tape in the 80s.
Oh my goodness!
It was like $150 or something ridiculous.
Exactly, it was.
I'm like, can I just go to Walmart and buy that for you for $15 and bring it here and give it to you?
Yeah.
And it was like, no, we have to buy a special version that costs tons of money and in a case because it needs a case. So that's the only way I can think of that it's a felony, that it's the amount of the amount that the videotape is supposedly worth.
I know. Kara McBride, she's a wanted woman for never returning Sabrina the Teenage Witch. A tape in 1999. Really, you would think
of all the things.
Yes, it couldn't be anything else. It had to be Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Yeah. Apparently, this is what McBride said. She said the first thing she told me was when she had a phone call from I think it was a county clerk's office. First thing she was told was a felony embezzlement. So I thought I was going to have a heart attack when she was told. She first learned about the charges when she was trying to change her name on her license after getting married in Texas. Can you believe that?
Oh, I didn't realize it was a name change.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
She said, I went to change my driver's license during this COVID thing, and you had to make an appointment. And so I sent an email, and they sent me an email, and they told me that I had an issue in Oklahoma, and this was the reference number for me to call this number. And so she called the number, and then surprise, she won. She won embezzlement. And so basically, I guess, and so anyway, I guess they got hold of an attorney. McBride told Fox 25 local news Tuesday that she doesn't remember ever renting the movie. She said, I lived with a young man. This was over 20 years ago. He had 2 kids, a daughter that were 8, blah, blah. I'm thinking, he went and got it and he came back, blah, blah. But anyway, here it is. The document shows the movie was rented at Movie Place in Norman.
A movie place. Ooh,
yes.
There's a
which
popular movie.
Exactly.
I've never even heard of Movie Place.
Movie Place.
And I definitely lived in Norman in 99.
I know. That tells you something, right? So anyway,
Nice.
Cleveland County Assessor's Office said the records show that the business is closed, of course, down in 2008. Apparently right now they're trying to, the DA's office says they're reviewing McBride's case and decided to dismiss it, which they should have. But can you believe that you're going to get your name changed and you're in the process of doing that, and they say, hey, they have an issue. You're thinking, oh my goodness, what's the deal? And then you call the county courthouse and they tell you, yeah, you for embezzlement. You're thinking embezzlement.
That's
I'm thinking
crazy.
I'm not Enron. I'm not, and then, what a VHS tape? Wait a minute. And not only
That's
that,
funny.
So anyway, I figured you read about this, but it's
I
funny
had
that you didn't
actually read I didn't catch that it was Oklahoma.
Yeah. So I did that for Todd V because we're always, showing.
We always bash on Florida.
bash on Florida, the Florida
Yeah.
man. So
Hey, just a quick. Dan asked about Black Widow film.
Yeah.
The release date. The release date's actually going to be July 9th right now. Is what it says.
Yeah.
So I know that release date has changed so many times. He was hopeful it was going to be released this week
Oh,
because that release date has changed so many times.
I
Dan.
know, and it may change
lost
again.
count.
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think probably that Marvel has gotten control of things because
I
they've
think
been
so,
able
too.
they've been able to get things back on schedule. So
Yeah, it seems that way. Well, for our next story, I'm sorry, Todd. Florida couple trapped in an unlocked closet for 2 days.
what?
Look at that. They look really excited. Yes. Apparently, it took 2 days for a Florida man who thought he was trapped in an unlocked janitor's closet with a woman to call 911 on his cell phone. It was only until the
Wait. It took him 2 days to decide to call 911.
Yes. Apparently. Well,
Because
get
he
this.
had a cell phone.
Well, it said it was only until the police arrived that John Airwood, 31, and Amber Campbell, 25, realized that they could open the door to the closet at the Daytona State College and walk out anytime they wanted to. The pair told the police they were chased into the closet on Sunday, but Arwood didn't dial 911 until Tuesday, and his phone location was tracked. The pair was found inside the closet along with feces, copper scoring pads, often used for smoking crack.
Oh, imagine that.
But no drugs were found, but the pair still face several charges. Yes, right. Isn't that Todd? I'm not going to say it. Todd V. Yes. So isn't that something?
Oh,
But
that is crazy. Shad
No,
says meth is bad.
it is. It
Well,
is
go,
in many
pop
ways.
that photo back up there.
There you go.
Yeah, meth makes you get a neck tattoo of a dollar sign.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, don't snort your money away. This one was sent to us by our Florida man Todd V. One of my favorites, and I'm going to end it on this. Let's see here as I do this thing called.
Todd says apparently they were pushing instead of pulling on the door.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Mr. Todd V. This one is actually. Let's see here. This is it right here. Okay, this This is a goodie right here. And this one, so apparently a robot vacuum eats a sleeping woman's hair.
What?
Yes,
A
one.
robot vacuum eats a woman's hair.
Yes.
Oh, wait. A robot, like a Roomba? One of those little round, flat. What? You said a vacuum robot. It's like, yes! Like, oh my gosh! What? How? Roomba detects dirt. Dirt is actually your hair. What?
52-year-old woman.
goodness.
It's a 52-year-old woman called Yeon woke in agony at her South Korean home after a robot apparently mistook her hair as for fluff. Four emergency workers took a half an hour to free her from the opening the device. The woman
They
escaped
just
serious.
didn't just cut the hair.
Apparently
It seems
not.
a whole lot easier. Don't
yeah.
cut my hair.
They said this case was quite special, the fire department said. We had seen weird things, but this was very weird call that we received. Apparently, it's not clear whether the woman has retained the robot cleaner services. Retained the robot cleaner services or actually own it. Apparently, I guess the such
But
services
you can
have
rent
become.
them.
Oh, that's what it is a renting service. Such services have become popular in the last decade with U.S. firm iRobot selling. You remember iRobot? I would not buy anything that says iRobot.
Yeah, I'm thinking
selling
this is
more
the
than-
beginning. This is the beginning of a Terminator story.
Yeah, this is Skynet, buddy. This is Skynet. Yes. So anyway, the devices have sensors that usually allows them to avoid obstacles, but not women's hair, apparently.
Dan
And-
says that his lead for his bedside lamp. If
man, what
you're not British, the lead's like that's where you plug it in.
Yes, exactly. So that is
Todd says
that
that
sucks.
sucks.
Thanks you, Todd.
Thank you,
That's
Todd.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Todd. That's it for stupid news.
Oh my goodness. This has been the Stupid News with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
Star Wars, Star Wars. Yes, we're going to talk about Star Wars
Nothing but
tonight.
Star Wars.
And-
Revenge of the Fifth.
That's right. That's right. Asthma. So I know I got my little thing here, and I got my little Battle of Yavin right here hat there, so I'm ready to go. So
So you got you got all the dates in your brain for this, so you can like keep us in like the Battle of Yavin.
oh yeah, of
So you're
course,
like,
yeah, BBO,
BBY,
well,
you can
BBY.
you can
Yeah.
figure out all that stuff.
Yeah, sure I can. Okay, number one, and we're not going to do any spoilers because I know it just came out last night, but it was freaking awesome. The Bad Batch.
It really
Have you
was.
Seen it?
If you haven't seen the Bad Batch, you definitely need to watch it. Dan Leckie says, "You are not my."
That's awesome.
Good
That's
job.
right.
Good job.
Good job.
I love our audience.
I do too. Good audience.
It really is good. And I will say this. This is something I want to throw out there. This is a follow-up, basically, to Star Wars. Sorry, not Rebels. It's
Clone Wars.
Clone Wars. Clone Wars.
Yes.
Star Wars Clone Wars, the animated series. This is kind of this is tied in there.
Yes, it is.
Kind of picks up
Yeah.
somewhere along that line.
Yeah.
Here's
yeah.
what I'm going to say.
Go
I
ahead.
have not watched much of Clone Wars. I've watched some. I'm trying to get through it. There's a lot of it. There's several seasons. I don't think that you have to have watched Clone Wars for this to make sense.
No, you don't.
I think there may be some episodes that could give you some backstory to make this more interesting,
Yes, I definitely
Or-
do.
or more exciting, or more
Yes.
anticipation. but I don't think you have to. I think if you hop in, you're safe. So if you've thought, I never watched any of this other animated shows, is this going to make sense? I think you could dive in here. There is enough exposition in the first 70 minutes.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
know.
70
minutes.
And this is not a Marvel 70 minutes. Okay?
No, it's not.
It's actually 75 minutes. There's 5 minutes
Yeah, exactly.
There's 5 minutes of credits at the end.
I know.
But it's 70 minutes without credits. There is plenty of exposition to explain who everybody is,
Exactly.
why they're there, why they're special, and why you should care about them. I think anybody can jump in.
Now, if anything, if you want to get some backstory, go ahead.
Dan just says, "Great to know awareness of Clone Wars isn't imperative."
Yeah.
I was concerned.
Yeah, well, and I was too, because I've seen the seasons. I loved it. But if you want to watch, I think season 6 and especially season 7 of the Clone Wars, especially 7, there's some episodes that basically focus on the Bad Batch.
I was talking to a buddy of mine. He actually hosts. He actually hosts Tatooine Sons.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we had Nate, his son, on the show. Yeah,
I was talking to Nate's dad. Nate's been on the show. I was talking to his dad, David, and David said there's 4 specific episodes that deal with the Bad Batch. And if you feel like you need the extra background, just go watch those 4 episodes.
I need you to sing something real quick because I need to take care of the battery on my laptop. Hold on a minute.
Oh no, that's not cool.
For me.
Do 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 do. And why did I pick that song? I picked that song in particular because that's the theme song that's playing. That's the song that's playing in the background of the MODOK trailer. So I kind of think that's funny that of all the songs I could pull out of my head, that has been running through my head since I watched the MODOK trailer earlier. So I was just singing the breakdown of Semi Charmed Life. Yeah. If you're not familiar with the name of that song.
Instead of sleeping in front of the show, I probably should have set up all my stuff. You know that?
Well, there is that. You could have done that. But that's okay.
I saw my screen starting to dim. I'm thinking, why is it getting dim? And then I look down and the battery I'm thinking, it doesn't have the charging symbol. Anyway, sorry about that, folks. Sorry about that. I'm good. We are good to go.
Hey, it's better than the week before last.
Yeah.
When we actually went live on the wrong channel.
Yeah, that's right.
And then had to restart the show.
I know. That was awesome. But but the fans came back. Thank you.
They did. I don't know why they come back for this kind of abuse.
I don't know either. So anyway, where we left off. Oh yeah.
So where we left off was there are 4 episodes of Clone Wars that specifically deal with the Bad Batch, and that David said those were the 4 that if you're going to watch if you want to watch any of it to feel like you're where you need to be, you watch those 4 episodes. I think they're the first 4 episodes of season 7.
Yeah,
the first 4 episodes of season 6.
I think 7. Really emphasize. You can IDB. You can Google it, but I think season 7 is the setup to Order 66. And so anyway, and of course, what Ricky was saying, Bad Batch last night, kind of starts off in that Order 66. Something's going on, and we don't want to give anything away.
It starts out just before that
exactly
part of the Star Wars universe.
It also gives a nod to Rebels also, and I want to and I'm not going to say anything about that, but if you've seen Star Wars The Rebels, it gives a nod to that also. So I don't, we may talk about that next week when everybody gets a chance to see the show, but really awesome. Man, I'm going to watch it again. There was so much there.
And we talk about the Bad Batch. So the Bad Batch is their official name is Clone Force 99,
99,
right?
Yes.
And I actually heard somebody make a comment of, Clone Force 99. 99 from a different point of view is 66.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Todd says it gives a nod to Rogue One as well.
Yes, it does.
Oh, it does. I don't remember. I didn't see that connection. Oh, wait. Is it one of the characters that shows up about midway through?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot going on, and
How do we talk about this and not get spoilery?
it's just hard not to.
How many of you out there watching actually saw this already?
Yeah,
How many of you watched The Bad Batch?
Last night. It was just last night. Film,
It takes place.
Dan was asking, which film does it take place between episode 2, 3, or after 3?
Okay, so The Bad Batch officially is
the latter
starting.
part.
It's starting near the end of episode 3. Is that
Yes,
that's pretty accurate?
Right. Yes.
It's starting pretty quick. I actually looked it up, and if you care about all those Star Wars dates, if you know what the dates are, I think it said BBY negative 19.
Yeah.
Or a BBY 19.
Let's put it.
So 19 years before the Battle of Yavin.
Yeah. Bad Batch just.
Todd saw it. Dan has not.
Okay. And I don't want to give anything away. We can talk about it next week, a little bit about it. But basically, answer your question is the Bad Batch came in, their elite force. This is from the Clone Wars. They're made kind of differently than most other clones, so they have a little more free will to them. But at the same time, that was during the period where Anakin was still a Jedi. He hadn't crossed over yet. So that's during that time, but it was getting close to the end of the time where, of course, we all know, no spoiler, Anakin becomes Darth Vader. And so,
right.
So anyway, and of course, the Bad Batch kind of goes a little bit there and then goes forward with this kind of with their own story in that continuity.
Yeah.
So,
and the Bad Batch is a little bit different in this. I don't know that this is okay. I think if it's in the trailer, probably it's not a spoiler.
Yeah.
Because the original Bad Batch is really 4 people.
Yes.
But we've added a 5th one.
Well, there was, Echo.
Echo is the new character,
and Echo was Echo was a former clone, and he was experimented on, and he ended up joining the Clone 99 force. So
yeah, he's the one that's got like the Lobot headset thing going on around the back of his head.
Yeah, before that though, he was part of Captain Rex squadron, and said so he was a clone and then been experimented with, and I want to give that away. That also has a lot to do with the context of, if you haven't had a chance season 7, watch season 7 because it's just really, really good if you don't want to go through all the shows, So
yeah.
Anyway, but speaking now, of course, Mando is another big one, and there's some news on it which I think is interesting, and we might have a little bit of conversation on that real quick because there was a few things that I thought was interesting. Are we hearing
things about season 3?
Yeah, they were saying there's a good chance. They heard this from out there in Reddit, and out there was reported by different sources, is that there's a good chance that we might see Wookiees in season 3.
Okay.
Now they're not saying Chewbacca or anything like that, but Kathleen Kennedy's saying now the next chapter will come out Christmas of 2021.
Oh, that's great.
And so, yeah, that's really awesome.
So are they already shooting then?
I guess so. I mean, because this is all coming out, but this week, all the information is coming out, updates on what's going on. So
yeah, I know they shoot most everything in front of the large cyclotron, the LED wall.
Yeah.
There, and so that that makes production a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about weather, and you don't have to, there's a lot more control.
Well, this is one thing I was interested in because, again, this refers back to the Rebels. There's been some rumors, and there's Kessel Run Transmission, which is a leaker. They're kind of out
Yeah.
there, but they're thinking that joining a live action project is the Aladdin star Mina Masood. I don't know if you've seen that before.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the actor a little bit.
Playing the role of Ezra.
Really?
Because remember,
So they're talking about bringing Ezra back from Rebels into The Mandalorian?
Well, what's funny about it, and people going, is this just rumors? So here's the actor right here. I don't have his tweet, but he actually did a tweet of himself, and he was being really coy, and he made a quote from Ezra from the show. And if you don't know the show, you would have no clue what he was saying.
Yeah.
I don't have that, but he would be the perfect Ezra. I mean, I think he would be good at that.
It could be a great fit.
I mean, I don't know the actor, but
I know some people who would be super excited to see a live action Ezra.
well, now you think about it. At the very end of Rebels, Sabrine, who was a Mandalorian, was part of the team, and Ahsoka Tano. Of course, Ahsoka Tano,
Right.
they're having a show. Well, Ahsoka Tano and Sabine, at the very end, they went to go find Ezra. Because if you've seen it, Ezra, uses those space whales to get Thrawn
Right.
away from Lothal. And so anyway, so they're going to go after Ezra in the last, after the very end of Rebels. So a lot of people are saying that he may end up showing up in Ahsoka. Because if you think about it, Ahsoka, I'm going to back up here. Ezra, apparently, if we're staying in canon, right now he's with Thrawn. Okay?
Right.
Because him and Thrawn was at odds with each other, and that's when the space whales, we'll call them space whales.
And Ezra would be about 9 years older than he was then.
Yeah.
So there's 9 or 10 years between the end of Rebels and the beginning of The Mandalorian.
Exactly.
So he would be a little bit older, a little bit wiser. And there's a lot of people that go, what happened to Ezra, since he doesn't ever show up in any of the the episode 4, 5, and 6, where he could have been useful and helpful, But why is he not reached out to? Why do we not have this character that, if we're going to bring him into The Mandalorian, why did he never show up to help back then? But we have the same issue with Ahsoka Tano. If she was around, why didn't she come and help?
Well, the thing is, if you episode 2. In episode 2, remember when they brought in Ahsoka?
Yeah,
and,
of season 2.
Season 2, her main mission was finding Admiral Thrawn.
Right.
And so she took down the magistrate who actually worked for Admiral Thrawn. And so if you think about that, why is she looking for him?
Right.
Is there a connection between him and Ezra? So there's so much that can come out of this. But I think from the information and the sources I'm reading, and from the tweet from the young actor there, I think there's a good chance we either will see him pop up in the 3rd season of Mandalorian, or he'll pop up in the starting of Ahsoka Tano.
See, so, I think if he's going to show up, he's going to show up in the Ahsoka show.
I agree.
And how much is he going to be in the Ahsoka show? I don't know. If they bring him in super early, does that what kind of storyline is she going to have if you bring in Ezra? Is it really her show if you bring in Ezra, because everybody's going to be super excited about Ezra?
Yeah,
or
exactly.
are you going to bring in Ezra at the very last moment of the season as a teaser for, season 2 of Ahsoka?
Well, that's probably what they'll do. which would be a good idea. I mean, not for
Yeah.
fans who wants to see it right then, but
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, but the other one I'm really looking forward to seeing is Obi-Wan. And
Yes.
Obi-Wan is another one.
And rumor, well, it's not rumor. Hayden Christensen is
He
signed on.
is. He's signed on.
He's signed on. And I apologize. My video may be a little cruddy looking right now. I'm getting a notification that my internet is not very strong. So not sure
Okay.
why, but
Yeah, I'm kind of seeing a little bit
yeah.
of
So
cutting up there, but as long as I can
So,
hear your radio,
it's my voice. So
it's
as my
kind
voice
of
is okay, then I
yeah,
think
the
we're all
voice
right.
is, yeah, I think the voice is kind of shuddering now and then, but I think it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get through this. We'll get through it.
Okay.
Such a good show, and then all suddenly your internet service provider. I mean, I'm out here and in the hills of up in the
Yeah,
up in
you're
the
in
hills of
nowhere, and
I'm nowhere
you
land,
have a
and
perfectly
then,
strong internet
yeah,
connection because
I
I can see
understand
you
that.
crystal clear, and
Yeah.
then minding me that it's not very strong at
I mean,
all,
you look like a
and I'm
you
all
look like a
pixelated.
you look like a war correspondent somewhere. It's like so. Ricky, tell me what the insurgents are doing. But no, you're right. It's yeah, Hayden Christensen is coming back, and he's going to play. Of course, he's going to play Vader.
Yeah, he's going to be dark.
I'm sorry, I could hear you go, Darth Vader. This slapped the internet a couple of times. Oh, poor Ricky. But yeah, this is unbearable. But no, but I'm trying to have a conversation. I don't know if I can have a conversation here. No,
I
but
can hear you.
oh, great! If we can just do audio, that'd be wonderful. So, but my question is, how is since Obi-Wan at this time is because this is like maybe supposed to be 10 years after Order 66. And
Yeah.
so in about that time, Obi-Wan should be on Tatooine, watching over Luke Skywalker, a young Luke Skywalker. So how does he run into Vader? Is Vader more of a going on behind the scenes kind of thing, or is it one of those things where Obi-Wan actually goes out from Tatooine now and then to take care of some business? And that's something I'm that's some things I've been kicking around, because he is supposed to be on Tatooine watching over. That's his whole purpose, is protecting the child from anyone who's trying to find him.
Hey, I'm going to turn my camera a second.
Okay.
Is that any better?
Actually,
can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Is
Talk
my
to me again. Oh no, your
me
voice.
better than still bad?
No,
bad.
I mean I look really good, but anyhow, yeah.
Todd VC says it's for me to pedal harder.
Yeah, pedal harder. That's right. That's right. Yeah. It's all.
Dan tells me to reset my internet connection, but if I do that, then I'll be gone and I'll figure out how to come back. It would take me so long to reset. We might as well just end the show.
Oh, that's terrible because we got so much to cover. So you're just gonna have to bear with it.
Well, yeah, sorry guys. I think what you were just saying is super interesting, because this is kind of the crux of the Wars. What are you gonna? Why does Vader not know who Luke Skywalker is?
Yeah.
From the very beginning, why does he not know who he is? Why does he not know who he is?
Yeah.
There's this big gaping hole of, why does it even make sense?
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're going to have a Kenobi show that's set in this time frame, Luke Skywalker be
I'm sorry. Oh, it kind of like a slow motion, Ricky. Kind of slow motion on it.
Oh,
Yeah,
my internet is slowly coming to a halt.
that's right. You're not pedaling faster. That's the problem. You're not pedaling faster.
Uh,
I mean, do you want to
what
try to? Do you want to try to reset it? I can have a conversation with the folks. You
you
know.
have a conversation with the folks. I'll be back.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Okay. Okay, guys. Hey, so what's your thoughts on what me and Ricky was just talking about? Because how do you think this is Obi-Wan's going to play out? Because again, it's going to be 10. It's going to be basically 10 years after Order 66. Because basically Yoda went to I forget the name of the swamp area where he's basically is going to wait for Luke Skywalker to train, and then Hoth. I'm not Hoth. Oh, it's not Hoth. But anyway, he's got Tatooine where he's going to watch over Luke Skywalker. So if they're going to bring Anakin Skywalker back as Vader, how that's gonna affect the show? How is there going to be let's see here. Yeah, Mando 3 season sounds really good. Dan is saying Mando 3 is, Mando season 3 sounds exciting, as does Obi-Wan. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Um, I don't know if it's going to be a series. If anyone knows that if Obi-Wan's going to be a series, let me know. I think it's supposed to be a one-time deal. So, well, that would be interesting there. But another thing I'm really interested in is the book of Boba Fett. That's where I'm at out here in the hills, Boba Fett. But Boba Fett, from my understanding, of course it's at the end of season 2, and remember the end of season 2 of The Mandalorian, where he basically goes to Jabba's palace, and of course Jabba's no longer there because he was killed in Return of the Jedi, and his assistant is there, and I can't remember his name, and he was sitting, in Jabba's throne, his chair. And apparently, I guess Mando didn't like that. He killed him, and now he is sitting on the throne of the Jabba palace. And so, what do you think? Not Mando, but Boba Fett is going to do in that series? That's something I would like to know from you. I think he might become a gangster, a mob boss, something like that. Yes, Dan was saying that great post credits. It was a great credit out there, and I think it was really surprising. Um, up to the point of helping Mando find Grogu, Baby Yoda, whoever you want to call the child. I think for the most part, up to that point, Boba was helping him find the child. So he had more of a uh, heroic character, unlike before when he was a bounty hunter going off of Han Solo and some of the others. But at the same time, you see in the end credits, now he is, kind of a mob boss, because that's what Jabba the Hutt was. He was a gangster, and he had bounty hunters, and he was, and of course the whole Hutt clan, was kind of like the whole Star Wars Godfather. So anyhow, I'm be interested to see what direction the show goes to. I can't remember the lady's name. She was on Shield, but she also is in this she's also the sidekick to Boba Fett as well. So it'd be interesting to see. Hopefully we might be, well, here we go. FYI, it wasn't Ricky's connection. I cut the lines. Jason said, FYI, it wasn't Ricky's connection. I cut the lines so he would pay more attention to me. That is creepy. And if we don't see Ricky again, we will make sure that we send the authorities over to Jason Hamilton's house. Might Boba Fett become a Hutt? That's a good question. I think he will. I think if my understanding is correct, I think the Hutt family is basically has been wiped out. I think Fett's going to start his own organization, You know, he may start his own, you know, his own clan. You know, especially like the guild. You know, the bounty hunter guild where Mando, you know, started out at. So he might start his own bounty hunting business and have people for hire. I don't know, but that's interesting. But yeah. So anyway, well, hope. Yeah, yeah. So I'm hoping, you know, and that's supposed to come out the same time. 2021. It's about the same time that Mandalorian season 3 is coming out. So I'm really looking forward to that. Let's see what we got here, folks. Sorry about tonight. We've had a lot of issues coming up, but they talked about too. I don't know if you remember Solo. Some people like it, some people didn't. I liked it because it was just entertainment. You know, it was nothing. Um, you know, I mean, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it's not the same caliber as, you know, the original trilogy or, you know, some of the other Star Wars shows, but I liked it for what it was. And right now they don't have a date for the series, but um, Dan said he liked the Solo. I liked it too. I thought it was fun and I enjoyed it. I wouldn't mind if they would make a sequel to it. I wouldn't mind if they would take the character and just make a series out of it on Disney Plus. I think that would be a great idea. You know, if they're not going to, you know, if Solo does not get a sequel in the movies, I think the streaming service of Disney Plus, I think that would be a great avenue for it. Because, you know, I think the actors, you know, I'm not saying B-listed actors, but they're not very well known except for Danny. Oh, I loved him. He's from played in Community. Donald Glover. I always want to say Danny Glover, but it's Donald Glover, and he's a really good actor. And back to Lando, I'm hoping that he ends up being cast for that. But you know, oh, I think I might have a Ricky Pope showing up here any minute. Looks like he's back on air. We'll punch him through. Hopefully he's still with us, and hopefully Jason hasn't abducted him in the closet. So that's my main concern right now. Yeah,
I'm here, but I don't know if my connection is any better.
I don't know either. Apparently, Jason said that Hamilton made a comment saying that he cut your connection so you can spend more time with him. So that was pretty creepy.
Not creepy at all.
Yeah, I was. But we were just talking about kind of kicking over to Lando. Basically, they're talking about doing a series with Lando, and they have no date, but in the movie Solo, it's played by Donald Glover.
Yeah.
And there was, and I think he would be a great, I mean, I wish they can bring him back to play that, but I don't know if he would or not, because I think he's become quite a bit of an actor. But I was talking,
absolutely has.
I know me and Dan, we were talking about the movie Solo, and I like the movie Solo. Some people kind of got a little ugly on it, you know, divisive on it, but I liked it for what it was. I thought it was fun. And, you know, if they're not going to make a movie sequel, I could see them using Disney Plus as an avenue for a series, because it's not like they're really big. Yeah. I mean, they're not, you know, they're not really actors, you know, nothing against the actors, but you know, they could fit in a TV series. They're not that, you know, it's not like Robert Downey Jr. coming back and doing an Avenger series on television. You know, it's not that, you know. Yeah, Ricky's going. Yeah, Todd's saying Ricky is going all Max Headroom. Yes, he is.
That's awesome. I definitely have a bigger issue than my internal system. Yeah, my speed test, my upload is 0.5 megabits.
Megabits. That's what you heard, megabits. So that is a problem.
0.5.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I should be hitting like 35.
So you're on dial-up connection right now, aren't you?
Pretty much.
Well, check your AOL email and see if anything came up from your internet service provider.
90s internet service back.
We're not doing an 80s retro show. That's for another time. So, oh my goodness. No, you're part of the fun, so don't go away. You're kind of my moral support here, because and good thing we're getting close to the end. So that's the good thing on this.
There you go.
But yeah, we were talking about the Book of Fett, and it's supposed to come out probably the same time
Yes.
coming out in 2021. Same time as Mando 3. Dan and I was talking. He's been keeping me company the whole time. I appreciate. And we were just talking about the whole idea of him starting up his own Hut gangster type of organization, because he's basically now has the Hut Palace. He's taken out
Yes.
his assistant, which I can't remember the guy's name, but he was the funky looking guy.
Ben Fortuna, I believe.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And so we were talking about that, and how that show might go, and he might start his own bounty guild. That's one thing we were talking about. Yeah. So, but yeah, there's a lot of actors like Rian Johnson. They're talking about him doing another trilogy. I mean, actual big Star Wars trilogy. So that's actually going to happen, which it's interesting, because where are they going to go from there? I mean, are they just going to get away from the whole Force Jedi thing? They're going to go stories someplace else. I mean, I wouldn't mind them doing something from the old, like 500 years before the old Republic, go to old school, from the very beginnings. But I'm not for sure. Of course, then Kevin Feige, he's also, they have him on a Star Wars project. So here's the guy, big guy head of Marvel, he's now participating in the Star Wars universe as well. So Disney's bringing out their big guns on this. It's amazing to me. Disney has so much talent. They have so much talent in their production and their directors and their actors, and they're brilliant. I mean, they use Hulu. Hey, well, we can't put this on here because it's not very family friendly, so let's stick them over here on our Hulu. I mean, it's brilliant. I mean, there's an HBO Max. I think they're learning some stuff, but they have a long way to go. And I would really like to know the subscriber base between them and Disney, but that's from another show. But do you have anything that you have to add to that?
I don't know that I have anything to add to that. Oh my goodness, this is so bad.
Oh, Dan, so yeah, is the next Marvel project Loki next month then? Yeah, well, actually, Loki is done with production, Dan, and actually it's going to come out June. It's going to be in June.
9th.
June 9th, yes. So
yep. It's going to be on Wednesdays.
Yeah, it's going to be on Wednesdays. So,
by the way, my download speed is now 4 megabits. My download.
And what's funny? Every time he says bits, it says bips, and that's a whole new internet speed is bips. It's like, I love this. I don't love this because it leaves me out here hanging by myself. But anyway, I'm having fun with it no matter what. So
yeah, my internet.
Todd Visti said, now his lips don't match his words like an old Kung Fu movie. And he has the goatee. He has the goatee for the Kung Fu theater. So that is awesome. And then here is Jason saying, I'm uploading my fan-made videos of SAS. So that's scary. Wow. Oh yeah, that's because Jason is using all your upload speed. So that's awesome, man. We got some really great fans here. And Jason says there's too much of Ricky getting through, so I think I'll have to slip out and cut the wire completely. Oh man,
Jason is being rough today.
He is rough. He's on a roll. He's on a roll. Well, man, at this point, I think it'd be great. Maybe we should end the show.
Yeah, I don't have anything else.
We covered a lot. and
Yeah,
and we have a lot to look forward to. Maybe next week we can get a little bit better, get on, talk a little bit more, but not anything specific. We're going to do the winter Falcon and Winter Soldier this week, last week, but of course I fell into a hole and couldn't get out, and so and of course this week
I feel like I fell into a
Yeah.
can't get out. I
So
fell
we're
into
thinking-
an internet hole.
Exactly. Hello, 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 hello. So basically, yeah, and of course this is Star Wars
So
week, so
bad.
we had to do Star Wars. So, we'd kind of go a little bit Marvel next week. We might talk a little bit of Bad Company. That's a song. We'll go a little bit of the Bad Batch, and then we'll talk a little bit about Winter Falcon and Winter Soldier and all this good stuff. And if you have suggestions, just bring it up during the show. I mean, we can talk about it. Just like we had to this episode. This is from Dan. I want to say Licky. Can you help me here, Ricky? Dan Lecky.
I think it's like
Okay. You only got part of that. See, Wednesday is odd for a project like that. Anyway, I wish it well. Any news of the boys will be returning. I don't know. I saw the first and second season. I'm not big on the boys, not as much as some of our other viewers, but I think Terrence, if Terrence was here tonight, he could probably give us information on that. But I haven't heard anything yet on it. Like I said, it is an interesting show. It definitely takes superheroes in a different context, or not really heroes. So that's interesting. There's also on Amazon Prime, I hadn't had a chance to watch all of it, was Invincible. That's another series. It's interesting. So you hadn't had a chance to see that. Check that out. And I had not seen Mortal Kombat yet on HBO Max. I like to see that one. That's kind of something I want to go see pretty soon, watch pretty soon. So we have a lot we're going to talk about next week. We'll, like we always do, we ramble about one thing or another. Love having everybody with us. Again, we'll be back Wednesday night, like always, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We'll have, Ricky come and, do his 100 bips and, see how, him do the, max headroom and the whole thing. And so anyway, let's see here. The Expanse is too good. Oh, the good too. Yeah, the Expanse is good too. And then Dan, Superman and Lois seems odd. It ended real quick and unexpectedly. Yes, I agree with that. But and of course, Dan is wishing you better connections next week, Ricky. And yeah, I don't want that, Ricky. I don't want any of that bad juju. I don't want any of that bad juju on me. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching and supporting us and just being part of the community. I love the podcast community. We have people here who have their own podcast. I love a community that helps each other out. So hopefully we can continue this as long as we can. I appreciate everybody joining us Wednesday nights. And so, Ricky, do you have anything you want to say before we say bye?
I have nothing. Hoping
Are you able? Yeah.
that for me
Yeah.
to outro.
Yeah. I tell you what happened here. I'll tell you what I might. Go ahead and you talk. We love to hear you talk.
Did you hear me talk?
No, I heard a little static. I heard like a. What did you say? Come on, say it. Say it. You know you
Said.
Here. Let's do. Oh, that's your favorite episode right there. This is torturing, and I love it. I think it's time to say good night, my friends, and see you Wednesday evening. This was a Something About Something podcast with my good friend, Mr. Ricky Pope, who's right now you can't hear, and me, Mike Schilling, his good friend, and we hope to see you next week. Oh, that was fun, wasn't it, Ricky? That was a good time. Yeah, I did too. Well, thank you. I do look buff. Well, I've been taking care of myself.